Well, hey, Chris, how are you?
Un momento.
Okay. So we're going to wait for Christopher to come back. And as soon as he's back, we're going to get started. But I am so excited to have our special guest come on the show here in just a moment. Can you hear me now?
Again, I think I'm switching to Android.
Yay! Oh. Well, tonight we have an amazing guest. We have Jeremy Cotter,
Yes.
who also has a show on All Access Network called Twisted Tales. And I'm really excited to get to know him a little bit more and have our community get to know him a little bit more.
Same, likewise. He has always been a very just upbeat and positive and super cool person. Every time I see him, I want to give him a big hug. So this would be great.
Absolutely. By the way, have you noticed that we kind of, our sweatshirts kind of match a little bit?
Is it? Yeah. Mine's let's see, Laconia Bike Week.
Okay, mine's like just like a regular. Yeah, it's the same color.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and welcome Jeremy Cotter on up. Welcome, Jeremy.
Hey, good evening, guys. How's it going?
Going well. How are you?
Hey, not too bad. Just trying to deal with these cold winter months going on up here.
Oh my God.
It's a little too much sometimes, that's for sure.
I know.
These below freezing days was just a little too much.
It was like high 20s today earlier in Maine, and I was like, wow, heat wave. This is great.
We had like 20 degrees or something, but yesterday was disgusting. It was like when I woke up, it was 0 degrees with a wind chill of negative 20, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know if the car's going to start today or not. Let's cross my fingers and hope for the best.
Right? I mean, penguins moved into my backyard. I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah, I know. I think I heard that doobie doobie doo.
Yeah. Polar bears drinking Pepsi now. What the heck?
Hey, you know what? The Super Bowl does weird things to people.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh my God.
Well, it's great to have you on, man.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
So tell us a little bit about your show, Twisted Tales. We would love to hear a little bit about that.
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, Twisted Tales is it was amazing because it came together so quickly, relatively speaking. So I'll give you a little bit of backstory on it. So I really enjoy going on podcasts and talking to people, and I'm just a people person. That's just who I am. And the more podcasts I got on, the more involved I wanted to be in the culture. So at Salem Con last year, I was talking to Gwen shortly after the panel that they were all on for I think you were up there, Raven, with was it Gwen and Lee and somebody else? I think it was the podcast one, or I believe. I know that there were a lot of members of the All Access Network that were there doing it, and I talked to Gwen. I'm like, I'd love to be a co-host for a show, getting more involved. She's like, well, why don't you try, what about your own show? I'm like, I'm not sure about having my own show. It's a lot different from being a host than it is to being a guest. And, we talked a bit about it, a little bit back and forth, got through the holidays, and all of a sudden January came and she's like, what do you think? I'm like, well, she's like, well, when are we going to start? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, well, how about Wednesdays at 9:30? I'm like, okay, sounds like a great day, and it's not a bad slot to start off with. And
right.
And then we came up with the 21st of January was the premiere episode of Twisted Tales. I had Nathaniel Elwell on that night from Paranormal Unveiled, another great show on our network of amazing podcasters and shows like that. So, Twisted Tales itself was my mind just spilling out onto the camera where it can go in any direction it wants to. So concentrating, I have a lot of paranormal, horror, pop culture, maybe some professional wrestling because of all the years that I was involved in that particular industry. And I want to have a large group of individuals and bring people on and build people up, maybe showcase their brands or their locations. It's just, I want to have a good time with it. The reason I call it Twisted Tales is because it doesn't have to follow any linear path. It doesn't have to stay true to any one form. It can just go off and do it, whatever it wants to do.
Cool.
And, that's pretty much where it's gone so far. We've had some amazing guests on so far. Like I said, I had Nate Elwell on in the very first episode. And then I had a couple of actors from Spooky World in New Hampshire on episode 2. They were pretty cool. Last week, which was episode 3, I had Ashley Merrill and I had Michael Castro on from the main paranormal and horror convention that's going to be going on. And this week I have Matt Warner coming on to do a spot. So it's been an interesting journey so far. I didn't realize how much of a difference being a host is versus a guest. And
Right.
to be honest with you, I have dove in headfirst into the host culture. Like the minute my show is over on Wednesday, I'm already getting ready to promote the next day for next Wednesd's show.
That's awesome.
I do my in-person promo video for the person, and then a few days later when Gwen has my advertising done for me, I'll put the advert out and just I like to keep the ball rolling. And the more times you get it out there, the more people will see it, and the bigger the scope of people we can bring the network to.
Hell yeah!
So,
That's awesome.
That's super cool, man.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a journey. I've been so motivated and just so driven towards all of this. I think I'm booked up until May, the beginning of May so far, and I got to slow down a little bit so I can leave some open spots just in case people want to get plugged in. But it's been when I get focused on something, man, all the years of being involved in like sports entertainment and I've learned how to promote. And I used to when I was an active competitor, it was one thing, but when I became like a backstage person, I would help like develop characters for people and storylines and things like that in professional wrestling, and that's when I got used to marketing. Plus, we have the biggest platform for marketing. We have Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all of these platforms. So it's not so hard to be able to. Yes, I agree that Raven and Chris are tremendous hosts as well. It is true.
Thank you, man.
But you have all these platforms. So for people not to share it doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
We all should be sharing each other's things and drawing more people in and just creating an amazing community. I mean, it is already an amazing community that Luciana and Gwen and everybody else has put together. And I just look forward to doing my part to make it bigger and do the best I can to make it, to do the best job I can for the network. So
that's killer, dude. I fully agree. I mean, it is a great opportunity for all of us to have a platform, like you said, and just kind of do our thing and talk to people and learn and grow as people. I think it's great.
It really is. I mean, how else can you go on, have fun, meet new people, become friends with a lot of people? I mean, the amount of Facebook friend requests I've gotten in the last week and a half has been like ridiculous at this point.
That's awesome.
It has, in the more episodes that I get in, the more comfortable you get. It's you have to learn how to fill in the gaps. There's a lot to it, and I wasn't fully aware of it now, but I definitely am now. So,
right, trial by fire is always the best way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who needs practice?
Yeah. Fuck practice. You learn by experience, right?
Yeah. What was that, Raven? I'm sorry.
No worries. So you had mentioned that you were involved with the WWE. Now, I had heard a little birdie mention that, but could you tell us a little bit about how you got involved with that? That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
my
super cool.
roots in professional wrestling. I started as a fan growing up as a kid in like in the 80s and in the 90s, and I actually was trained out of Boston, Massachusetts in 1991 by Killer Kowalski, the legendary professional wrestler for the
No
WWE.
way,
Yep, from back in the day.
dude. That's cool as hell.
He was my trainer. I used to travel from my home in Maynard, Massachusetts, all the way to Boston 4 times a week to go and get the hell beat out of me on a regular basis by guys like in my class, my training class. Triple H was there.
No shit.
From the Eliminators. China, we helped train China when she came through.
Wow.
Yeah, I was in professional wrestling from active from 1991 to 2011 when I retired.
Dude, I didn't know any of that. I apologize, but like that's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
I was big into wrestling back in the day. Like I remember Papa Shango? Do you remember that guy?
Oh yeah.
Dude, like, and before The Rock was The Rock.
The Rocky Maivia. Oh yeah.
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 Oh man.
I mean, I grew up as a huge fan in the 1980s. The 80s is my favorite era.
Was that like the Sergeant Slaughter era and Jake the Snake and
Roddy Piper and Macho Man, Savage, Hulk,
Macho Man, yeah,
Andre the Giant, and all the legends. But no, going back to what I was, I did some enhancement work for the WWF in the early 90s. Let's say like 1994, 95 era, and then I did a lot more for the independents around Massachusetts. I've wrestled in most of the states in this country for various organizations like the NWA and things of that nature along the path. And then from there, I settled down after I had retired because my body didn't want to take the bumps anymore. And a friend of mine who runs a promotion in Rhode Island, New World Wrestling, he brought me in as his booker, matchmaker, promoter, like to help get characters over and to help out the younger generation. And then I kind of faded away when my new interest, so to speak, with the paranormal started to come into play, which was right around for Gene and I. Gene's the one who actually got me into paranormal. My wife, around 2011. I'm gonna say 2010, 2011. We may have we did like an investigation out in Vegas when we were out there in our wedding in 2010, but we started getting into it around like 2011 or so. So about 15 years now.
That's
in the paranormal.
Am I hearing this right? Did you get married in Vegas?
No, we actually got married in Massachusetts, but we actually for our wedding we traveled we traveled multiple different. We used to be into all the haunted houses, like the Halloween attractions. We went to the Headless Horseman's up in New York. Then we traveled down to Atlanta to go to Netherworlds, which was an amazing haunted attraction. And we went out to Detroit and went to I forget the name of the word. It was huge. And then we went all the way to Vegas to go to the Circus of Terror at Circus Hotel and stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, we did. We took a 2-week honeymoon and just traveled the country and did a bunch of different haunted attractions because I'm always gonna love Halloween. I'm always gonna love that the horror, the jump scares. I mean, they don't scare me anymore, but the jump scares and things like that is definitely what I enjoy. And
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you said your wife. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Well, you said your wife got you into the paranormal. Were you always kind of interested in it, or was she really the one that sparked your interest?
Well, I'll give you the whole story because we got plenty of time. So I definitely
please.
So I used to make fun of the shows. I didn't believe any of it. I thought it was all bullshit.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I honestly thought it was complete bullshit. Ghost Hunters and Paranormal State, all those different shows. Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, stuff like that. And one day, my wife wanted to go to an investigation at the S.K. Pierce Haunted Mansion in Garden.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, what is this all about? Being a cynic or skeptic or just making fun of it. She's like, oh yeah, there's gonna be a medium there. I'm like, oh great, I'm a triple extra large. This is fantastic.
You wouldn't believe how often I get that too, man. It's crazy.
Hindsight being 2020, I can't believe it's gone where it has. But No, so we went to the investigation at the SK Pierce. I forget who was running the event. It was Edwin and Lily still owned the house at that point. So it was before. It was way before all the renovations and everything went through. So it was still bare bones, raw dog. I mean, it was really, really a cool place to be. And we were doing a tour, like a before an investigation tour. And I can never stay with a group of people. I always have to go off on my own and explore no matter what. So they went in one direction. I went in another. I went into the room they called the nursery. They had like a crib and some other stuff, and it was really dark. And all of a sudden, I just saw this black mass come out from the side of the wall, and it blocked out the window and the street light and everything. And then it sat there for a second, and it went poof, and just disappeared. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, what the hell was this? I was looking for smoke machines. I was looking for
Right.
Of course I was, because in my years of sports entertainment, I know that you can generate things if you're looking for them. So I'm looking around, I couldn't find anything. I'm like, okay, that just happened. And I found Gene later on. I'm like, okay, there might be a little bit more to this than I understand. You know?
Yeah.
That place was one of my very first places to investigate. I love the SK Pierce. You know, we'd gone there several times, but it has evolved from there. But no, that was definitely my first experience with spirits, like just seeing one, and that was before I even got involved in the paranormal. That was my very first time going on an investigation. I saw that spirit, and then like we'd go to like the Murdoch Whitney over in Gardner, and we'd go to like the Conjuring House, or we'd go we go to other places, and the USS Salem, the battleship. I love that place too. And every time I go there, something new would happen. You know, I'd get touched, I'd get scratched, I'd get pushed, or then I started hearing them talking. I could smell if there was a cigar smoke going on, or if a woman's perfume was in the area. And I'm like, what is going on? And the more that I was getting involved with it, the more I was actually enjoying it. You know, I was actually getting in. I'm like, does everybody smell this, or is it just me? You know, and then the voices started to become clearer. You know, it wasn't just knocks or dings or cat balls going off. I think it was before cat balls or REM pods, but actually hearing voices. And then people started showing up as shadows, you know, like the shadowless masses or you know, shadow forms. And that was intriguing. So I started getting more open, and I started learning how to open myself more to communications. And then the shapes started to form actual people.
Oh, wow.
And I was actually able to see the ghosts walking around, or the spirits, or the entities, or whatever you want to call them. I was actually able to see them walking around, you know, just like you and I. And the best part is when, like I said, I learned, I'm sure Raven will understand. I learned early on that I'm not a tech guy. So all your portal boxes, they're really cool. Ghost knows the thing goes, all that. It's cool, but for me, I like to use my pendulum, my dowsing rods, and you know, I'll have my K2 just for the hell of it. I mean, my wife got one for me, so I like to have it with me. But primarily, I like to use the most base forms, and especially when they started talking to me, and I was actually able to respond back, and our conversations would actually be justified on people's equipment as they were sitting there talking, and whatever I would say would come up on the devices. And then it became where, you know, sometimes I can't even shut it off. Most of the time I don't shut it off, because I enjoy the communication. I enjoy being able to learn new things, you know. And one day we were at the Conjuring House. We were doing an event there, and we were going around the room, and people were talking about their experiences and stuff like that. And I said, well, I have a lot of experience doing I've had a lot of experiences doing this and that. And the woman's like, well, you got to say what you are. I'm like, what is that? She goes, you're a clairvoyant, because you can actually speak to spirits like you talk to regular people, and they respond to you, and they will do, you know, if I ask them to do something, a lot of times they will actually go ahead and they will do it, because I treat everybody with respect. No matter what plane you're on, whether you're on this plane or the other plane, I treat them with respect. I don't ask the questions like, no, how'd you die? You know you're dead. You do. I don't ask any of those questions because those are disrespectful questions. You know, a lot of the spirits, you know, as well as I do, a lot of these spirits, they died suddenly and they have no idea that they've passed on to the other side. They're seeing it from a different point of view that we are, but they're still there, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, you know, brings up the current day, and I've been able to be part of a lot of great investigations and meet a ton of awesome people along the way. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, you know, in a bullet point system, like where my paranormal journey has gotten to so far, you know.
That's pretty cool.
That's
I like the
awesome.
fact that you went from like cynical skeptic to like 180. Like that's super cool.
It wasn't on purpose, Chris, to be honest with you. It
Yeah.
wasn't. I went from for some reason, like my energy draws out the spirits where I am.
Mhm.
Whether it's children's spirits because children love me and they look at me as a protector, or the women, and unfortunately the men or the higher echelon spirits, they like to challenge me sometimes,
Mhm.
and I'm cool with it. I'm not going to disrespect them. It's their home. It's not my home.
Sure.
But I'm also not going to back down either, because it's just I don't find, yeah, I don't believe in backing down from human beings living, let alone those who are on the other side as well. You know.
Yeah, I get that for sure.
Yeah, it's really cool because I never expected any of it to happen.
Right.
I think is the most pressing thing. I know I say it 100 times, but I had no intention on ever transferring from professional wrestling to the paranormal, and now a podcast that has everything involved in it. It's like the circle is complete, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
You know, because
That's cool.
I'm linking it all together. I'm working on linking all of it together, because there have been wrestlers on multiple paranormal shows like Ghost Hunters or any other. There have been wrestlers like WWE has had guys go on there before from different things, and you know, and there's a lot of wrestlers who actually have paranormal YouTube channels currently.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of ladies, Shotzi Blackheart and one of her friends, who and they investigate all sorts of places, you know, and it's pretty cool. You know, I don't watch as many shows as I used to, just because I'm way too busy trying to get the podcast up and running and in a you know, in orderly fashion. So, but once in a while I'll catch a show here or there. You know?
Yeah.
Skeptics turned believers are my favorite.
Yeah.
They are my favorites, because if an individual has an experience within a paranormal place or a non-expected paranormal place, um it can really help others sometimes who are very skeptical to at least maybe listen and formulate an idea as to why another skeptic would turn a believer and maybe be more open to the opportunities of having that experience.
You know, I totally I agree with what you said, but the skeptic, once they have one experience, has to want to have more experiences.
True.
Sometimes the skeptic gets freaked out by the one, and they never come back to it again. You know, and we've seen it several times. I'm sure you both have seen it before, where somebody has an insane experience that they probably weren't expecting, and they run like hell out of a location, and you never see them again.
Yep.
I've heard stories about that. I haven't seen that quite yet, but I'm sure it's bound to happen.
I've seen it 3 times.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen somebody run out of a location 3 times. One time was at the SKPRS, and I took the brunt of that shit.
Uh-oh.
It was up on the third floor in the billiard room, where there was some
Oh, yeah.
skeptical stuff that had gone on in the closet thing, and there were some guys up there, and they must have been taunting or something like that. And I didn't know. I was up on the second floor at the time, and I got up to the third floor when they were like figuring things out. I went into the closet, and all of a sudden I started feeling wicked flush in my face. I started sweating, and went downstairs, and I was so dehydrated, and I was drinking. I must have drank like 2 or 3 bottles of water just to try to get my hydration back. And the back of my neck was all scratched across the back of my neck. And these guys came running down the stairs like, "Can you smudge us? We gotta get the hell out of here!" And they smudged them real quick, and they bolted out of there. There was another time where I saw somebody run so fast off of the USS Salem that I think the Roadrunner would have been jealous of the part that was left in her wake, and she bolted off of that ship.
That ship will do that to you. That place is wild.
Oh God, I have a couple of really cool experiences for that ship that I could definitely share if you wanted to hear those. But you can.
I haven't been there yet, so I do want to hear your experiences.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have actually channeled multiple. Hey, how you doing? I've actually channeled multiple spirits on that ship. One of them was extremely dark, and that one was a little freaky. I was with Sam Beltrusis. He was getting ready to start doing the Estes method in the CPO mess hall, the smaller mess hall for the officers.
Yep.
And he puts the headphones on. He's got the mask, and all of a sudden I looked over and he had this shadow figure like over the top of him. I go, "Sam, watch out!" And all of a sudden it looked right at me and shot right into me, and I started shaking. I was laughing like the Joker. I was like, "Nobody can take my spirits; they're all mine." And I guess I was like rocking back and forth. And somebody actually got it on audio. I wish I could get the audio. I don't even know if the guy's still on social media anymore, but somebody got it on audio. They had to drag me out of the room and about 50 yards down just so I could actually get myself gathered back, because I was definitely out there, And
Jesus,
there was another time when I channeled what felt like an elemental on that ship, and that was in the main mess hall. I was with James Anito and Carl Johnson. They had asked me to come down specifically so they could use me as a conduit to talk to the spirits. They had a big gathering of people, and they brought me down as a guest to the channel. This thing was so powerful. I'm not kidding. Like my hands were like stuck to the table as it was talking through me. There was a guy sitting next to me who was almost as big as I am, and the energy almost knocked him out of his chair entirely. Just from what was coming out of me, the energy was insane. It took James and a couple of people just to be able to uproot me from the table. But I don't look at it as a negative thing. It was an experience. It was definitely an energy draining experience, unfortunately, but it was definitely an experience. And the most fun interaction I had on the ship, I went down to the. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. I'd love to check that.
That is cool.
But
yeah, that'd be cool.
There was another time I had gone down. They asked me to come down. The Don DeCristofaro and his group asked me to come down and help out and be a guest and investigator and help lead some teams around. And it was on my birthday several years ago. And when I brought my buddy with me, because he had never been on a ship or anything like that. So I brought him with me, and we were sitting in the CPO mess hall again, obviously. And all of a sudden, my buddy's like, "Hey, it's his birthday, right?" And I'm not kidding you. "Happy birthday" started being toned out on the REM pod. It did.
Shit.
And I'm like, holy crap. And there was at least 20 people in the room that actually heard it. So shit. It was legit.
That's cool.
The REM pod was actually sitting in the door frame of the CPO mess behind us. And when my buddies said that it was my birthday, it toned out "happy birthday" on the REM pod. I was like,
that's so cool.
That was sick. That was really, really, it was cool. It was fun, but it's amazing how intelligent the energies are in that ship.
It's true. I've seen some pretty wild REM pod activity on that ship where they'll literally have them. I think I can't remember what room it was, but there was like 4 different REM pods set up. And they were like, all right, they had it in a grid, like maybe like, one here, one here, one here, one here, right? And they're like, all right, in a diagonal pattern, you know, if yes, say I'm so and so, and it would do it, and they'd be like, all right, now just do the bottom two, and the bottom two would go up. Now just do the top two go up, just the sides, you know, like, and it was reacting and responding in the way that they were asking. It was unbelievable. It was like unlike anything I've ever seen.
But highly intelligent energies on that ship. You know,
Unbelievable, and there's a lot of them.
I'm not. You know, and I'm going to say this: there's highly intelligent energies everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and when you realize that in New England, especially, I mean, I know there's other parts of the country, but there isn't a place that you can walk that someone's blood has not been spilled anywhere on the grounds in Massachusetts or Rhode Island or Connecticut, between all the Native Americans being wiped out and all of the conflicts and everything else. I think, you know, everywhere you go, there is definitely energy in the ground everywhere around.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
I agree with that for sure.
Especially being of Native American heritage myself, because I'm about 25% Native American.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I think that I might have gotten a lot of my spiritual ability from my Native American side,
Sure.
as well as I found out that on my mother's side of the family, because they came over on the Mayflower on my mother's side, because her maiden name was Stone, and it was an old school name from England. So I think that I may have inherited quite a bit of natural ability from both sides, and then just filled in the gaps as it's gone. So,
Sure. Yep.
Yeah.
You ever run into a location where it was you didn't expect it to have spirits, and there was like a very unassuming place that you were like, oh wow, like there's definitely energy here, and I never would have thought.
Yeah, I at a friend's house.
Okay.
But it wasn't anything like nothing with malice. But
Sure.
I have a friend of mine who lives a couple of towns over, and in his backyard there's his backyard, and there's like the perimeter of trees, and inside where the trees are, there's an old school stone like stove, like an old school like oven type of thing in there.
Oh, no kidding.
There's actually a woman whose energy is attached to that stove, and I'm waiting for the warmer weather to come because I finally want to get out there and talk to her one-on-one.
Wow. Yep.
In Salem, I was actually very surprised at the amount of energy that the House of Seven Gables actually had in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, because Sam Baltrusis was taking Gene and I on a tour of Salem years ago, and we went to the House of Seven Gables, and we were up in the top of that thing, and we were looking around. You could hear voices in like the room next to us, and you could see like shadows of people like walking around and things like that. I mean, well, at least I saw them. I don't know if anybody else did particularly, but you know, a lot of cemeteries you go to, you don't really expect to see anything, to be honest with you. But I get stuff at the cemeteries all the time. I think like loved ones going to visit the graves of people and stuff like that. So
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned the House of Seven Gables. Kayla, my wife, and I were just there this past summer, and you know, I mean, I definitely felt that there was things there, energies there, you know, as well. But I asked one of the tour guides, I was like, you got any spooky stuff that happens around here? And he's like, oh no, none of that. And I think it's because they probably told him like, don't say anything about it. You know, I was like, you can't tell me that nothing happens around here. Come on, you know,
they avoid it. They avoid any like that because they just don't want to draw any unnecessary attention to stuff.
I could see that. Yeah. I mean, they don't even allow investigations there, I would imagine, right?
No.
I wouldn't imagine. Yeah, probably not. It's probably not the attention they're looking for.
I don't think they allow any investigations in Salem at all, unless it's like inside the Hawthorne or something like that.
So because I lived in Salem for a year. Now I'm just over the hill from it. I can say that they would take people on ghost tours, but to actually go on investigations, it kind of like helps if you know people.
Yeah, I can
that are
imagine.
in the area to be able to do that, because they're actually pretty strict about going into the cemeteries to do investigative work or that kind of thing. And a lot of people that come in, there are places that are very much open to having people come and do a ghost investigation, but it has to be scheduled.
I see.
No, it makes sense. You
Yeah.
know, a lot of people don't treat Salem with the respect that it deserves, you know. And
That's true.
Mhm.
especially during October when it's all like the tourists come running in and you're asshole to elbow with everybody and walking around. I hate Salem in October. I will truly say that. I have no
I
desire
work
to
in
be there.
Salem in
I was gonna say,
October,
yeah.
and I
I've
mean,
I've been there during Halloween one year where we had to park at the border of Salem and walk all the way into town. And by the time you got to Essex Street, you were literally shoulder to shoulder with people and walking through.
mhm.
It felt like cattle going to the slaughterhouse. It really
Oh
was.
yeah.
You couldn't get to any stores because trying to dive over people was almost impossible. So it's like, oh look, this is awesome. Essex Street. Oh yeah, great. Look, street performers. Oh boy. Can we get in anywhere to eat? No, it's like a 3-hour freaking wait anywhere you go. It's like, oh, come on.
Yeah, you want to go to any of the shops, you're waiting for half the day, and then it's like, okay, well, we just spent half our day in a line. Which nothing, I'm not talking shit about Salem at all. I love Salem, but you're right, man. It's crazy.
I will
Shoulder to
say,
shoulder,
My
nut house.
my biggest recommendation for anybody that comes to Salem is there are a lot of other months in the year
mm,
that you can enjoy it, actually really be able to enjoy it,
I
and
agree.
still see some of the most beautiful things and actually have a good time if you come and check it out.
There is at least 10 other months that are perfectly fine.
That's right.
Maybe 10 and a
Right.
Yeah.
half, depending on I mean, I would never touch it from like the last week of September to like the first week of November. I tend
Right.
to stay that 6 weeks is like blacked out to me.
If
I
you
think
do, you better get there at 6:30 a.m., if you want parking in the town of Salem.
I think that
Mhm.
I think that Gene and I went to the speakeasy. I think it was a speakeasy event at the Salem Theater during
Oh,
October last year. But that was just driving in, parking in the garage, going into the movie theater, and then getting the hell out of there. And that was late at night. It was an Edgar Allan Poe
Mhm.
based one. It was really cool.
Now, I
that's
will
cool.
say that there are this last year. So I've been here 2 years now. I'm originally from California and moved out here. But the first year it was more packed than last year, but last year was still packed, full of people. And the second year in a row, I was like, I'm going to work and I'm going home.
Don't blame you.
No, definitely not. I don't even think COVID stopped Essex Street from getting mobbed. To be honest with you.
I don't think so. I feel like I can't say for sure because my memory's kind of garbage sometimes. But I feel like Kayla and I have been there in and around the COVID time, and
Yeah.
people were still like jam packed. I was like, because I think I remember thinking like, how can they allow this right now? Like, we're supposed to be social distancing, and it's not happening. you know?
Well, that whole social distancing thing was a novel concept, but it
Sure.
it it didn't work in some places.
Right. No, you're right. It definitely didn't.
I work at a hospital,
Oh, you
and
do. Wow.
in nutritional services, food,
Mhm.
the food and everything. I've been
Sure.
there since I've been there since 2021 when the Delta variant kicked into play.
Okay.
And, it was interesting because it's like the world was still pretty much shut down for the most part around that time frame, like mid 2021. I mean, it had started off in the early 2020, and I don't think we got back to normalcy until the end of 2022 or mid 2022 is when things started.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was mid to late 22, maybe early 23, something like that.
But I mean, the amount of like the amount of interactions I've had with spirits at my job
Oh,
has
geez.
been
Yeah.
has been interesting. You
I
know,
can't even imagine that. Yeah.
I I witnessed my first ascension, like actually from I was in the critical care unit of the hospital,
Hmm.
and I was delivering some food. I started feeling really like I was sweating profusely. I mean, it was pouring sweat, and my stomach was burning. And all of a sudden, I looked over to the side, and this gentleman had like three of his family members in the room, and he passed while I was there, and I actually saw his spirit rise up out of his body and go into the light above his head right behind him. And
Wow.
the hairs on my arm like stood up amazingly. Hey, Christy. And As soon as he had passed, then all the pain went away. But I had sweat so much it looked like I had poured water over my head. That's
Holy
how bad
cow.
it was. And I still had to finish my shift at the hospital.
Jeez. Yeah.
I've seen spirits walking across the hallway from room to room. I've seen spirits sitting in chairs down in the cancer area from when they passed. I had a gentleman pass away right at my feet in the emergency room. Dropped down and passed away right in front of me a couple of years ago. And then the next day I saw him wandering the hallways of the hospital because he was still
Wow.
wearing the same clothes in his spirit that he did when he had passed.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I've witnessed about a half a dozen ascensions since I've been at the hospital,
Wow.
and
Okay.
that is one of the most spiritually intense things I've seen.
I can't imagine. Yeah, I've never personally seen that or been around it in my personal life, which I'm grateful for. But also too, like, it's a pretty remarkable thing to have be able to witness. I would imagine.
I agree, and I also feel that it was meant for me to experience,
For sure, for sure.
and it was something that I will never forget because
Mhm.
from that point forward, I decided to be. I leave myself on 24 hours a day. I don't.
Okay.
I used to turn it off. I used to try to turn it off. Sometimes it would, sometimes it wouldn't. I ground myself if I'm going to an investigation, but I always leave my crown open for receiving message because
Sure.
I truly believe that the journey has just started for all of us in this paranormal thing. As much as you think, as much as you think and as long as you've been involved in it, we're just barely touching the tip of the iceberg of this entire paranormal universe, so to
Oh, I
speak.
couldn't agree more on that one. Yeah, that you are spot on with that one, my friend.
Just like I feel that like the spirits and like aliens and Bigfoot, they're all tied together as part of the same thing,
Yep.
and the more the more I think outside the box, the more comfortable I am with all of it, you know.
Hmm.
And yeah, we're all working on our paranormal journeys and it's
Yeah.
it's an amazing thing. I personally tell you everybody that I am not a paranormal investigator because I don't think that investigating thing it's a useless term. I'm a paranormal communicator. I talk to spirits. I embrace the conversations. I like to hear them tell their stories. So I consider myself a paranormal communicator and not an investigator. I'm not
That's
grilling.
cool.
I'm not grilling these people for information. What am I going to try to put them in ghost jail if they did something stupid? I mean, no.
Yeah.
To me, it's it's more of a spiritual connection with the other side.
Right. It's not like you're saying, "Where were you on the night of July 23rd in 1825?"
Well, but some people do that. You've seen investigations where
Oh,
people come up
sure.
with some of the
Yeah.
most blunt and digging questions. I'm like, you really think they're going to answer that?
Right.
Really? Okay, well, go right ahead. And while
Yeah.
you're getting nothing, I'll just sit there and be like, okay, cool.
And then
It's
people wonder why they get scratch marks or they end up with some kind of like, bruise or something like that when they're interrogative like that instead of approaching it with, I mean, just my thoughts on it, approach it with authenticity and an understanding that this person, this spirit has crossed over and or hasn't fully crossed over and needs help, or it's a communication, not an interrogation anymore. They're already on the other side.
Right.
and I agree with you. There are a lot of spirits who are still bound on the earth plane, and there are some that have ascended, and so there are some that can travel back and forth between all different planes because we the funny part is we don't know what's going to
Right.
happen because we're not there.
Right.
We all can speculate. We all can have our interactions. I mean, I've recently been able to astral project once or twice, which was really crazy in and amongst itself. I didn't quite understand how that one worked. I was a bit worried that I may not go back to my host, and then I've been able to actually communicate with people through dream state, which is also an interesting one as well. I don't know how that works, but I've actually, somebody was like, "Hey, you know, did you were you thinking about coming over to the house?" I'm like, "Why?" I thought we were having a conversation about it the other day. I'm like, "We did in dream state, but I haven't really, I don't understand any of that. It's brand new ish, so it's kind of, I think we're not supposed to understand everything, and whatever is given
Right.
to us as gifts is something to hold and treasure. Honestly,
Yep, that's a great way to look at it. It's a great way to look
It's
at it.
it sounds like you can dream travel,
yeah,
which is pretty cool because that could be like a really cool way of creating or helping somebody with healing in some aspects when it's, asked for to like be able to help them through that stuff. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's super
yeah.
cool.
It's something new, and it's something I got to learn more about, or just by personal experience, because there really isn't anybody who can teach things like that. So I think learning it as it goes, and it doesn't happen very often. It's only been like once or twice for that kind of a experience, but the more I get into it, hopefully it can develop into something. I love helping people anyway. So
Yeah.
When you went into these dreams, were were you aware that you weren't in your own dream, that you were in someone else's?
not really. I
Okay.
mean, it felt like it was my dream, but then again, I've been in dreams where I don't know I don't know why I was there.
Mm.
Mhm.
It's like I've been in a dream where I was at a farm, and I was visiting my nephews, and I could see, like, their goats and their chickens and their open field, and I'd never been there before. The first time I
Mhm.
ever went there was when I went to Augusta for the main Paracon last year. My sister lives about a half an hour away from Augusta, so we went and we visited their farm for the first time, and I had seen it in my mind's eye before I even went there.
Do you happen
With
to know what town in Maine she lives in? You said
Palermo.
Palermo. Okay, that's not far from where I live.
Okay, yeah, she's in Palermo. Um, my Jean's aunt lives close by, in a half an hour in a different direction from Augusta. I forget what the town necessarily is off the top of my head.
Well, it's funny
But
because I literally live a half an hour from Augusta. So
yeah, that's cool.
The
yeah, I live in a
reason
town called Jefferson.
Okay.
the
Yeah.
reason I asked about that is because I am pretty sure that I am dream jumping or doing astral travel or time jumping sometimes when I'm sleeping, because when I'm waking up, I'm seeing very, very, very vivid faces of people that I get the energetic vibe that they're still either connected in this specific lifetime,
Right.
or they're having memories of people that they had in their lives that had crossed over, that either those whom have passed had it, whereas they were either showing me or but it was like really vivid. Like sometimes I would wake up, it's so embarrassing, but like when this first started happening, there was one particular time where I had woken up and it was like seeing somebody literally standing over me coming down in a cloud, and I jumped and screamed.
It's okay though, because everybody's experience is obviously different when it comes to that.
Yeah.
If I have any kind of a dream jump or whatever, I'm extremely tired the next day. Like, it feels like I didn't even freaking sleep, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't really
Mhm.
sleep much to begin with. I get maybe like 3 hours a night, 3.5 tops. I'll be in bed by like 11. Maybe I might fall asleep by 11, and my alarm clock's already going off at 3:30 in the morning. Because I'm usually at work by like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning every day.
Mhm.
So, but I can't like go to bed at like 9 o'clock at night or think anything like that, because it just doesn't feel right. I mean, I'll be tired sometimes, but that's you know. But when you do any kind of dream traveling or stuff like that, it doesn't feel like I've gotten any sleep at all. I'll be like, oh great, did I even close my eyes? Does it even feel like I did? You know?
Right.
Yeah, I've been in that place before too. So that's why I was curious, because I know that everybody has different experiences and how they experience it, which is why, like, even myself, like, I'm curious to find someone who has a lot of experience in that to help me, like, understand how it works a little more.
It's an interesting experience, and I will say that I don't think everybody has that ability to be able to do that. So if you can, it's a rarity, you know.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of funny. One thing I will tell you is that my wife doesn't let me do any kind of Ouija board
Mhm.
sessions whatsoever because every time I do, some weird shit happens. especially
Yeah.
at the, especially at the Hinsdale house. Oh my
Ah,
god.
man, I've heard so many good things about Hinsdale. I've never been.
We went one time. We went a couple of years ago. We did the Wildwood Sanatorium, and then we went over to Hinsdale the next night. So we stayed.
Mhm.
We investigated Wildwood and stayed there, and we also did the Hinsdale house. And it is everything that it has been talked about, if not way more.
That is what I've heard also.
The Native American energy or what is so intense in the woods around that property.
Mhm.
Because when I went up in there, it was amazing. It's it's hard to explain. It really is really hard to explain. There's a reason that they have lots of dream catchers out in the woods in those trees, and it's
Even in other countries, because James and I went to Romania, like, with a group of people. And one of the forests that we went through, there was a dream catcher hanging in the forest. Like, it
Hmm.
was wild. It was in the middle of nowhere. It was really interesting.
That is pretty interesting. So, Jeremy, you had talked about, like, the investigators that kind of ask the kind of like the questions that you shouldn't be asking, right?
well.
So, or maybe not shouldn't be asking, but this kind of like the generic bullshit, I guess, right? I'm curious, in your opinion, what would be an example of like a question that could help new investigators to really dig in and help the spirits on the other side as well as themselves as getting into this field? You know what I mean?
So when I do an investigation, when I go on an investigation or any kind of an event, and my wife and I are together, we always go into the room, we sit there, we take in the ambiance for a minute or two, and then if we just we will do the questions, the round questions when you put the recorder out and
Sure.
everybody asks the questions, give it like 5 seconds in between, and then you go back and you play it back and you see what might be on there.
Sure.
But we always introduce ourselves and we thank them for allowing us to be in their home, and we'll just ask them regular questions,
Hmm.
and simple things like, can you tell us your name? Um, do you know what year it is? Um,
All right.
what's your favorite food, or like what's your favorite color, or if I'm wearing something like I have my Beetlejuice shirt on here, it's like, can you see what this word is? Or
Ah, okay.
things like, but you sit there and you talk to them like, do you like this? Do you like your home? You have a very pretty home, and things that you can get natural responses from people,
I
because
like that.
you don't walk up to a person on the street going, you're alive, right?
Yeah, right. It's true, man. It's true. Do
Right.
you know you're living right now? You can breathe air. That's crazy.
No, you sure you know what year it is? No,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've been in rooms where investigators ask those same bare bones questions. I mean, I understand it. If that's your style, I respect it. I really do. But it's not how I go about it. I go about
Right.
it in a natural thing. I'll sit in a space like at the Wilson Castle up on the third floor in the aviary, the circular room up in the third floor at the Wilson Castle. And I'll sit there for half an hour before I even consider even thinking about asking any questions on my device or even starting to talk to them. I'll sit in a place and just let let the environment speak to me before we actually get involved in a conversation. I feel that
That's
that's,
cool.
to me, that's the best way to do it because it shows respect to them and their space. Because you go there, you visit, you ask them questions, you think you can find something that nobody else has, but everybody asks the same questions, so it kind of just falls apart, and then you go home.
Right.
Mhm.
These spirits, these entities, these people live in this home, and they've been there for a long time, and they're going to be there for a long time afterwards. So
Right.
they don't need to keep at that. I prefer not to ask the same questions that everybody else does. I try to make everybody feel comfortable, like I
Yep.
said, on the physical plane and metaphysical plane as well.
So I have to ask,
Yeah.
I am going to Wilson Castle for the first time in, I believe it's in July for, we're doing a 2-day event out there.
Oh,
And
cool.
I've never been there before. What were
It's an
some of
amazing place.
your experiences there?
It is a beautiful place. I agree. Tell Denise I said hi.
So the Wilson Castle is beautiful. I've had experiences up in the aviary where I've seen a woman sitting at the window, and then she'll get up and move around, and I think she might even be on a time loop. You
Hmm.
know, some spirits are on a time loop, and they do the same motions
Yeah.
over and over again. Um, I've seen people walk around. It's hard with Wilson Castle because the echoes so much that if you got to be really quiet when you're doing your questions so that you're not giving everybody else's reverb.
Hmm.
Right.
I've
Yeah, there's
seen
some
I've
very
seen all
big rooms.
yeah I've seen all sorts of spirits walking around. Most of them are friendly. They just want to hang out with people and just chill, and that's the most important thing to me. I don't want the energies in any location to feel uncomfortable with us being there.
Right.
Hmm.
And that,
Mhm.
especially being a man of a large stature like myself, it's hard because I can look physically intimidating. I look physically intimidating to people on this side, let alone I couldn't imagine what it looks like on the other side.
The
So
fact that you think about that, that I definitely have respect for you in that regard, because with some of these ghosts, they've been through horrific things, and so having that kind of respect when going into that space, knowing that some of those spirits are dealing with very difficult things that they haven't been able to move past or
Mhm.
overcome, or be able to release themselves from, or be released from, it shows character. That's awesome.
I
That is
think
awesome.
I I like to I try to show respect to everybody, and you are going to encounter some negative energy from spirits because I firmly believe that if you were not so nice on this side, when you go to the other side, you're taking that with you. You're not going to be all of a sudden you're not going to be like the nicest guy on the other side. You're taking your grumpiness. I've encountered grumpy spirits. I've encountered angry spirits. I've encountered tricksters and all sorts of practical jokers or whatever you want, as well as the nice energies as well, because how you are on this side projects how you're going to be on the other side. You don't automatically just turn into this really cool guy if you were a not so savory human being on the other side. It's just,
Right.
I don't believe that everybody's going to automatically turn into the nicest person in the world because they'd be kind of foolish to think that too.
Well, and I think it eliminates validation when you're connecting with that person too. If you were just like, if you were a complete jerk in life and everybody knew that, and then you cross over and people are like, I'm connecting with this really genuine, awesome person, and they're just so nice. They're like, that's not him, It's not going to match up with what they were like in real life, so it eliminates the validation of who they were as a person, in my opinion,
Exactly.
right?
No, I agree with you entirely. That's what, if you're a jerk on one side, you're a jerk on the other side. Because I don't know how we obviously it's speculation. Everything is speculation.
Right. Yep.
But I've encountered like Lizzie Borden's father,
Oh
Andrew
wow.
Andrew in the parlor, seen him in there staring at people, like almost staring a hole through people because they were doing experiments or whatnot in the parlor area where the couch is and all that kind of stuff. And he wasn't a big fan of There was a Ouija board. Somebody left a Ouija board there, or they used one, and he definitely is not a fan of that at all. And but he was a very strong man, and you're not going to turn lighthearted in an instant just because you pass away. It's just the way that it is.
Yeah, I think life lessons can be learned, but I think healing can take place to maybe shift things. But I think that key part of you is essential to who you were here as who you are there.
I agree. I mean, we're all human beings. We all have great days and we have some not so good days. We all have days that we are the nicest people in the world, and we have days that we can all be a little bit, surly or unsavory. So, it happens to everybody.
Absolutely.
So why should you think there's any different on that side of the plane than it is on this side of the plane as well?
It's a good point.
That's my takeaway from it anyway.
So, I can't believe an hour has passed already, but it has.
Oh shit! Wow. God damn. Like we just started.
I know, right?
It's all good.
Before we close, I wanted to ask, do you have one more question for him, Christopher, at all?
It's funny. I had a bunch of different questions, and it always happens that way. It's like every show. They're like, you ask me that question, and I'm like, damn it, there's no time.
Sorry,
But
my questions, answers, and stuff like that. But it happens.
No, this has been awesome. It's been cool to pick your brain about stuff and just to get your insights on all of like your life and your practice, and just all of this has been super fucking cool, man. I'm really glad to have you on the show, like truly, genuinely. My question though, I'm gonna lead with one more question. You had talked earlier about like Bigfoot and aliens and things like that. Now, has your skepticism, was that involved with all of that when you were non-believer in all this? And
of course, I mean, come on.
So when you did that shift with the spiritual side of stuff, when was the shift for like the cryptid side of it for you?
Well, I can get into that real quick. So, years after I got involved, because I was strictly on the spirits and the paranormal and the ghost side.
Yeah, because like seeing a shadow figure is one thing, but seeing a Bigfoot or a cryptid, totally different thing. So that's why I asked, like, when was that shift for you? You know what I'm saying?
So I haven't had a lot of experience with the green guys or Bigfoot. I mean, I think I've encountered like a puckwudgie here or there, or other creatures, obviously. But I open up my heart to the other two major parts when I went to a UFO convention in Leominster, Massachusetts, and that's where I got to meet Mr. Haunted, Jimmy Pedino.
He's a cool guy. I love him.
Wonderful. We love him.
And I have friends who are involved in the Bigfoot culture, and I have friends who are involved in the alien culture, and I decided to embrace all the forms of the paranormal because cool. I feel that it all is linked into one big umbrella, and who knows, maybe someday we'll figure out what the actual is, what is going on. But I mean, I feel that they're all linked together.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty much my take on that. It's just the paranormal is an amazing community, yes. And I am very proud to be part of that community, whatever I can. So I've enjoyed my journey so far in the paranormal. I've only encountered very, very few individuals that I'm not the greatest of. I'm not too keen on, but for the most part, I've met some amazing people that I consider family, and it's just onward and upward from there.
Absolutely, and it's interesting how in our paranormal communities, like with the different events that we do, we all can bring things outside of the paranormal, even into the paranormal, that helps it to like wrestling, for example, or other aspects, other avenues that like really actually do in turn integrate just in some very unique ways. So yeah, speaking of, you and I share we share a love for Funko Pops, and
yes, I will say that. Yep, I have about 100 of them in my collection.
Oh shit!
You can see it. Okay, hold on.
Oh
I
yeah.
have to see if I can take my back screen off. You're gonna see my wall for a minute. Hold on. Let me see if I can figure this out. Trying to figure out how to take off my background for a
I
second.
primarily collect horror Funko Pops. That's the genre that I'm currently doing.
That's
And yeah,
that's awesome. Gwen, how do I take my background off?
I think one of my prized pieces is my autographed Freddy Krueger custom Funko Pop that I have.
That sounds
So-
interesting. Okay, if you go up, yours is a little bit different than mine. It should be in your little settings wheel, your gear. You see your little gear?
Hold on. Let me see.
Real
Like,
quick, while you're trying to figure that out, Jeremy, what's your favorite horror movie? I see the Scream mask behind you. What's your favorite horror movie?
Of all times, the original Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984, is
Hell yeah, nice.
It's probably one of my
Jeremy
favorites of all
loves
time.
horror.
I do. I love horror, but I'm also a big action guy. I'm like
Yep.
slapstick comedy, anything
Yeah.
you can possibly think of. My new guy that I really enjoy is I do enjoy Art the Clown. It's a little
Same, dude.
and
Love that guy.
the third movie with the Santa Claus and all.
Oh man. You know what? It's funny because I didn't think that they could each one has progressively topped itself. And when that third one came out and I saw that, I was like, holy shit, they went and did it.
I got to meet him. I got to meet
Did you?
David Thornton at Silver Scream in Worcester last year.
Was he in costume or just himself?
No, I had him autograph the Art the Clown Funko Pop, and then he actually did get in. He made an appearance as in the Art the Clown makeup at the Ice Nine Kills concert at the Worcester what is the DCU Center later.
Oh, that's sick.
It was a gigantic viral moment.
There you go.
When he showed up.
Did you get it? Oh, you got it. Yeah.
You got it. There you
she
go. Woohoo!
Oh, that's cool. The Rock, huh?
I do have the rock.
That's
It
cool.
was one of the Funko Pops that I ended up winning in one of the raffles, and you had mentioned that you like the rock, and I was like, I have one.
That's
So,
pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You know,
yeah.
I got the very first Funko Pop I ever got. I won a Casper the Friendly Ghost, autographed by the actor that played him in the live action movie of Casper. I forget, and I won it at a Paracon in a raffle, and then from there I started collecting a little bit here or there. I got a lot of Yoda stuff. I'm a huge Yoda collector. I'm a gigantic Star Wars nut. That's like one of my
Oh man.
passions.
I don't know if I ever showed you. I got, and I'm not going to take my shirt off on camera, but I have a Star Wars tattoo on my shoulder.
Dude, I have a giant Yoda tattoo right on my.
Oh,
shit!
That's so cool.
you guys, we are all nerds. You know that, right?
Proud of it.
Hey, you know.
Proud nerds. Yeah.
I mean, when I was a child, I think I was 4 years old when my parents took me to see Star Wars in 1977, and I obviously don't remember. I think I slept through it, but I remember watching Empire in the theater and Jedi in the theater, and you know,
I
I'm
get
not-
lost with it because I can't. I guess I have memory issues. I don't know. Maybe I just get confused, but I have gone back and watched because I can't remember exactly how it's really. And then it's the Mandela effect too. So I'm like,
Oh shit! Yeah.
yeah. So I don't. Yeah. I have to look. I
yeah.
do look.
definitely a nerd. You know, I got my Yoda collection. I think I have like almost 100 pieces of different Yoda stuff in my collection, and
Do you
Well,
have
that's
Baby Yoda? I call it Baby
Sure.
Yoda. I think they call it
Grogu.
the
Yeah,
child.
I do have
Yeah.
Grogu. Yeah.
I have BB-8. I have Obi-Wan Kenobi. I have Darth Vader. I have
They're
Princess
pretty cool,
Leia.
you know. My favorite collectible that I have the entire original run of Star Wars figures from 1977 to 1983. All minted.
No shit.
I have them all complete with all of their weapons and their capes and everything.
Are they
Oh, that
open?
is so cool.
Yeah, I mean they're loose, but they're all in. I have them in the those old vinyl boxes with the 2 trays on, the old Star Wars boxes from the 70s. I have them in the closet in my room and all that shit.
Since we're on Star Wars, I got to ask you, Jeremy, who shot first, Han or Greedo?
Oh, Han did. Come on, when you see the remake and Greedo's shot is 15 feet above Han's head, I mean, well, it was no, they should never have ruined it. You know, he was supposed to be a scoundrel that turned hero. You don't want
Right?
you don't want him to be a good guy right off the bat. That was
You
terrible.
didn't want people talking, especially Greedo.
That was the most useless moment until when they came up with that character Snoke in episode 8, whatever the hell that stupid thing was. You know, the galactic pimp, the galactic pimp wearing that big golden robe.
Oh shit, yeah.
It was terrible.
Have you
That's
seen
awesome.
the General Grievous pop? It's awesome. Have
Yeah,
you seen that one?
I think I saw the original one, right?
So, there. I haven't seen the original. I have one of the resale ones that I just got in the last couple months. That's cool.
they put one of him out a long time ago, or like one. I think it was like one of those blue back ones from years ago. I think there's a General Grievous in that as well. I mean, I don't have any of those. I wish I had gotten involved in it on the base level. I could have made millions at this point off of those damn things. But no, yeah, it's crazy. I'm a nerd. I got all sorts of collections. I even have like, I'm a huge Pez collector, like the Pez dispensers. I have like 500 of those things. Oh yeah, I have a huge collection of Pez dispensers in my house too.
That's cool as shit.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Okay, so
ridiculous.
now I need to see if I can show you this. Hold on, let me figure out how to do this.
She's gonna figure this out in a minute.
Right? There you go.
So there
That's
are
Oh my
stacks-
goodness.
there are stacks behind this one.
Yeah.
I have more pops over here.
Oh,
I have
my.
more pops on the other side of the room, and I have pops in the basement ready to go for sales for different events. But I have my own personal collection that I keep up here. So
Nice.
yeah,
If you run across an Art the Clown one, let me know.
I just got one. I gave that one
Oh,
to
sure.
Matthew, but I'm gonna probably come across them again. So I'll get you. I'll get one for you.
I have the Art to Clown. I even have the little pale girl too. The little
Oh shit, that's awesome.
I found her one day at a toy shop. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I enjoy them. I like to get them autographed. I have a couple
Oh,
of different Jason pops autographed. One by CJ Graham,
Yeah.
and one by Ken Krissinger, the one who played him in Jason versus Freddy, which
Mhm.
is also another one of my favorite horror movies of all times. Is Jason versus Freddy. I love that.
Good
thing.
movie.
It is
I'm
good.
ashamed to admit that I just watched Hellraiser with my daughter not too long ago. I probably shouldn't have watched it with her, but
First one, the OG.
the first one, yeah, the OG. I had never seen it for whatever reason. It eluded me all this time.
It's an amazing movie.
That's a great movie. I
The
wish they
first
would have
one-
explained a little bit more about where the Cenobites came from or what they're all about.
Yeah,
They touched on it a little bit, but they don't really go in depth. I'm hoping in the other movies they do.
I gotta tell you, the one horror movie that creeped the skin right off me had to be the OG Texas Chainsaw Massacre from '70.
Oh shit, yeah.
Oh my god! When I first saw that movie, I don't think I slept very well that night. It was definitely a scary flick.
For me, it was the OG Exorcist back when I was a kid. Watching that, I was like, ugh, Jesus.
and it's a great movie. The second one and the third one, meh, but the first one is good. Sometimes I think horror franchises don't do well.
And actually, the OG Exorcist gave me the best. Like when I'm mad at somebody, I say the best insult that came from that movie, and I'm sure you could probably figure out what that is.
God, I can't remember at this point.
I'm wondering if I should even say it, but when she's like, "Your mother sucks cocks in hell,"
Oh, Jesus. Wow, that's right. I forgot about that.
sorry.
It's okay. That's
I'm usually
all
pretty
right.
PC.
That's okay. There's a
yeah, I should have bleeped that out. Shit.
Whoops.
There we go.
Oops.
And I wouldn't be able to say any of it. It just would have been like, oh, and then she says, beep. You know?
I don't edit anything. I tell people, do it watch at your own risk because I'm really good. I can talk to anybody about anything. I can wing it, and I teach you guys to do the same thing. If you,
Yeah.
I just want to apologize.
it's okay. It's okay.
Momentary laughs, but it was.
Yeah. I slipped a little bit, guys. I'm only human. I'm sorry.
Well, how about when what was it? Scary Movie 2 when they did when they did
Oh, yeah.
when they did the comedic version of the
Yeah.
James Woods was the priest, like
That's
fuck
right.
this.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck this. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh god, yeah, no, this has been a lot of fun tonight, guys.
It's been great.
Show, and I'm gonna get a hold of you guys. I want to have you guys on my show so we can flip the script on the whole thing, and
We
I
would
definitely
love that.
want to get you guys on.
That'd be awesome. Be an honor.
Yeah, I'll give you a holler tomorrow when I actually pick up my book and look at all my dates, and we'll definitely figure something out soon because it'd be great.
I've got to go back and put everybody's dates because everybody's got. I'm a little behind on some stuff, y'all.
No worries.
Hey,
Oh,
trust me. I have my book with all my dates all lined up. I'll just snap a picture like I normally do and
please
send it to
do
you.
because sometimes I feel like I'm missing them, and you guys, I think we're basically caught up as of the guest today. But tell them about your show tomorrow night, Jeremy.
Yeah, we were going to say, tell us
Yeah.
about how we can
Wednesday
contact
night,
you and stuff.
Wednesday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Twisted Tales Volume 4 is going to be bringing on Matt Warner, the head of Warner Preservation, Paranormal Preservation Society and Warner Paranormal Explorers. I've known him now for a number of years. You know, very interesting guy, and I can't wait to have that conversation because it's going to be a fun one. You know, I love the fact that the show is doing well, and we're going to keep the ball going and the momentum. Like I said, I enjoy so much being part of this All Access family group now. It's a lot of fun. You know?
Much love and respect, brother.
You too, man. Definitely.
Yeah. So if people wanted to get a hold of you, to talk to you about channeling or talk to you about anything that you've shared, or if they have any questions, what would be the best way to get a hold of you, or even for the podcast show you have?
Through my Facebook channel. I'm always checking my Facebook channel. They can, you know, if I'm not friends with them, they can send me a friend request. I'm usually very open about bringing people in, and they can leave me messages through direct. I do have TikTok. I forget what the heck the thing is at this point, but Instagram I think is Yodaman 1973, and you know, all your basic social platforms. I welcome anybody who has any questions or anybody who wants to. Feel free. They can give me a holler if they want to be on the show or something like that. I'm always open to have anybody.
Or you know what? If you can't find him for some crazy reason, message me always.
Absolutely. We're in contact all the time anyway. So
yeah, every day. Yeah. And you know what? I have all you guys, and I do my best. So I'm gonna tell you right now, this having all you guys in here is just cool. But I try to keep contact, and I tell you what, I just sometimes I zone out.
You know what? You work so hard.
Yeah,
you work so hard.
We love you. Gwen, the minute the show is over, I'm already starting to promote the second. I'm already ready to promote the next show. I'm already making my promo videos, and I'm already off to the races. Yeah. The minute one show is done, the next show has to start. You know. So
basically, that's when I finish this tonight. I download the shows, all of them, and today's a busy day because I have 4 shows today. So, yeah,
God
I
love
download
you.
everything, and I'm trying to get everybody on Spotify. So watch for that, guys. But and then I start trying to make the ads for next week, and I try to get them out there. Now, don't miss Jeremy. Wednesday night. Now tomorrow night we have Red Road Paranormal, which will be its 2nd episode. My friend Rez, who I did the paranormal walkabout, that will be out one day when I get spare time. Spare time
someday, right?
Yeah,
it'll all happen when it's supposed to happen. Divine timing.
Yes, it will. Hey, Matt. But
that guy Matt is the one that actually owns the place out in Wisconsin I was telling you about, the Humbird.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Matt, I need to contact you next time I'm out there. But hey, tomorrow night, Rez has Scotty Rourke and Gail. I'm gonna say her name wrong. Don't let her kill me. But anyway, Gail is Scotty's manager or something like that. Don't hate me, Gail. I can't remember her last name. If you've never met him, he's an interesting guy. So he does the ghost hunter. What is he? You know what I'm talking about, where they have the vehicles and all that. They kind of have the groups, the ghost hunters. You know what I'm talking about?
I think I understand where you're going. I'm not really sure exactly what.
They actually, they have the costumes. They do that, and a lot of them will do stuff for kids, and they'll have the vehicles that look like the ghost hunters and stuff. But
Ghostbusters, you mean?
Ghostbusters,
not ghost hunters. Lord have mercy.
Okay, all right, yeah.
The proton packs and the outfit.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Just go around saying he's looking at me, Ray.
Gwen.
Yeah.
Can you please? There's also a special episode coming up soon that our wonderful producer Gwen is in. Can you tell us about that, please?
She's gonna make me blush.
Yeah,
I can see it already.
So you guys, I'll let you in on a little something for the people that don't know me, have never heard this. I never go back and watch myself because I'm gonna nitpick myself. It's just what I do. But and I'm on a lot of stuff, y'all. I mean, you know what? Somebody told me the other day, they said you're everywhere, and I started thinking about it, and I was like, crap, I really am. But
Okay.
now it was supposed to be last Friday night. So for those who messaged me, I apologize. The director apologized. This Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern, I am supposed to be on Monster Quest on the History Channel.
Oh shit!
Looking
Yeah,
forward to seeing
and
it. Yeah.
it's sort of a big deal for me because I do this and I stand behind everybody, but I don't really put myself in the spotlight type thing. And
Well, you deserve it.
That's
well,
going to change.
thank you. I just I support all you guys. You could call me at 3:00 in the morning, and because I don't sleep, I mean, even if I was asleep, I would be up listening to what do you need. What do you and you can. I do, and everybody knows that. But Friday night, 10 p.m. Monster Quest is on the History Channel, and I have one story on the episode. And if you've ever watched it, what it is they take your story and you tell it, but they make a reenactment of it. And I am very anxious about. I want to see it. It's going to be good because they are really. Now I got to go back and say, Blaine Rohan and Letriana Brown have had their episodes, so please go back and watch those too because the whole thing is wonderful. It's
That's
wonderful.
awesome.
It really
cool.
is. Yeah, but Friday night, guys, I'll be sweating sitting in front of the TV because I promised everybody I would. But
We're all our own worst critics, Gwen, but you're going to be great. It's going to be beautiful, and don't beat yourself up too hard.
I won't. You know what? I did it. It was awesome. I sat in that room for like 5.5 hours.
Oh wow!
And they were so interested. I'm not going to give it away, but my story is I have not seen a lot about it, but it's something that happened to me when I was younger. So It's going to be interesting. But yeah, I'm a little bit excited, but I'm also like, last week I kind of got let down. Yeah. Hey, thank you, Matt. I got let down because we thought it was coming on, and like I said, it got kind of messed up. But it's supposed to be on this Friday. So if you guys need to know anything, just message me and cross your fingers it goes well.
It's going to put it out there. Manifest destiny. It's going to be great.
I'm in another state, and I'm still going to be watching it.
I know you are. I know my people, and I know Letriana's going to put it out there because we put it out there for her and Blaine. And, we're proud of each other. I'm proud of all my people.
Absolutely.
I am. And I try to support. That's why I say all you guys, and you guys forget if you're on another podcast, please let me know. I will do my dangest to at least come in and say, hey, I do. You can add anybody that I know they're being on somebody else's podcast. Absolutely. That's what I do. I try to support you. It doesn't matter if it's my mental health weekends. I jokingly told you guys earlier, I take Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off unless it's a special. Or sometimes I'll go on Sean Ellis's show on Sunday nights. But because I need those days because the rest of the week I'm busy. And I don't take time off. I'm still working. But I'm not like on the screen most of the time.
Right.
But yeah. So let me know. Yeah. I tell you what, it's going to be exciting. It really will.
I agree.
I'm happy for you, Gwen. You earned it.
Definitely.
Well, thank you. I hope to get to do something a little similar, but a little different. I've talked to a couple people who have come to me, and it's kind of odd. It feels different. So, hey, you guys. Also, let me go ahead and say for the rest of you, we have Paracons coming up, and I know all of us are going to be at everything we can. I know for a fact that I'm coming up north as well as down here. I know there's going to be New Orleans. There's going to be Alabama. There's going to be Gettysburg. Possibly Connecticut. Yeah, I don't know yet. They kind of had a will you come? And then it was like, wait a minute, something's changed. So we'll see. But I know I'm gonna get up there. And then I'm coming to visit my girl Raven whenever I find out about my shoulder. So
that'll be really good, especially well, I'll talk about that off camera, but there's an idea that's in place that might be fun to have everybody in the community come to. So yeah.
That would be cool. That would be cool. And my dream for next year, because I don't know if I can make it happen in 2026, but because we are growing, but I would love to have I want to say a family reunion. I would love to have someday all access people in the same building at one time. I would be in heaven.
That'd be an awesome time. That's
And
for sure.
one
would be
picture,
cool.
and for those of you who have not signed my Ouija board that was made by Danny Perez,
Oh shit.
they bought me when I was in Connecticut. They bought it for me as a gift, and I don't do really well with clowns, so it's a clown. I don't hate them, but I don't love them. But anyway, it's a Ouija board, and it was bought for all access people to sign.
Okay.
Now, John Zaffis did sign it, but when the man grabs it and signs it, you don't tell him no. So
No, not at all.
No.
no, you don't tell. And
Awesome.
I love him to death. John, if you're watching, he's probably laughing at me because he's
We love you, John Zaffis.
Yeah,
Excellent.
he's sweet. He's a sweet man. We had him on. Me and Lee had him on not long ago. So
That's right. You did. Yeah.
yep, and he is awesome. He sits back and he enjoys generally being with us because he's comfortable around us. So
That's
I
cool.
think, yeah,
That's a good thing.
it
definitely.
is. But you guys, I love you guys. I love all my access people and all the viewers. We're growing by leaps and bounds, and it's crazy. Hey, Morgan, and Morgan may not be part of the network, but she actually is grandfathered in.
Hi, Morgan.
What's up? What's up?
Morgan, get your boyfriend to send me his ad. I am Daniel Elwell. I'm his co-host on Wednesday nights at 8:00 Eastern. So
Yep.
Get on it, Nathaniel.
oh, it's okay. Yeah.
I'm a hot one to talk. I'm no room to speak. So
Well, Nathaniel likes to do his own stuff, and he knows that if he asks me, I'll get it done.
Yeah.
But I let him do his own thing. I would, Morgan, hint, I would love for him to give it to me a week ahead of time. That would
wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah.
Nah, you guys, already working on it. Yep. He did. I know it. You know what? And he loves to do his own, and I appreciate it. But and we are going to have for the medium frequency, we're going to have something new come out. I don't know if it'll be in the next week, but maybe in a couple weeks at least.
Yeah.
We're going to get it together.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, there he is, the man himself.
Hi, Nathan.
Yeah. Hey, Nathan, I need your ad.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Yep, the legend. Nah, he's cool. And he honestly he gives me hell a little bit because of Monster Quest because he's a big fan of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but
Nice.
Morgan summoned him.
Awesome.
You guys, we
Wow.
can sit on here and talk all night, but I know Jeremy has to get up, and I can't remember what time you other people have to get up.
It's all good. I have tomorrow off. I'm fine.
There you go.
Oh, he's
This
vacation.
is cool.
It is
I've
cool.
got
But yeah,
some
when I come up there
preparing
to specifically see Raven, I am going to get together with Morgan and everybody and everybody I can. Let me say, I would love for everybody to be close. Yeah, what are you doing up? You got to get up tomorrow too. Goodness, everybody's staying up late.
I have
I
to
know.
start preparing my suitcases for Pennsylvania. So,
Oh,
There you go.
yeah, I've got to put ball gowns in bags. That'll be fun.
Nice.
well,
that.
I'll give you a hint. That's not easy to do.
Yeah. It'll
That
be
is not-
interesting for sure.
Yeah, I've always had to hang mine up. Guys, I don't know about y'all with the ball gowns.
No, I also hang my ball gowns up as well, so I get it.
I just usually just carry mine around in a hefty bag,
Yeah. I neatly fold them and press them and put them away.
Sometimes you have to.
Yeah,
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Sometimes,
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you funny. I have stuff in my car because when I was traveling last summer, stuff would get left in there, and I've got to clean it out. And I looked, and under the little dog carrier, I have a little 5-pound Chiweenie. Everybody's probably seen him, but I looked up under there, and I have a sequin dress. Now I'm not a foo-foo girl, but I get bougie when I need to get bougie, and I have my sequin dress. I was like, "Here's where that thing is," and it's in my trunk for like 8 months.
Nice.
Speaking of bougie, girl, I may need to reach out to you because this dress that I'm wearing, I'm going to need some help from another sister.
Yeah, I tell you, y'all never seen me really dressed up, and I clean up well. I do, but yeah, it's more. Morgan, you know what I'm saying. What did he say? I just hold on. What, Carla, are you going
Oh,
with?
Inquiring minds, you know.
Yeah.
I'm more of a forest green, personally.
yeah, maybe baby blue. Yeah, it depends.
Maybe blue, yeah.
Raven, what
If
color
I'm
is
feeling real feisty, I'll wear a bright red one to match my lipstick.
There you go.
You
There
know,
you
Well, one of my dresses is a deep red velvet
Ooh.
dress. And it's got like a really pretty slit on the side. It's got long sleeves and it's got like the front part of it is what I'm concerned about, but I'll talk to you about that later. But then I also have another gown that I'm like trying to decide on
neon orange.
because there are 2 days in a row that this event is going on, so I have to have different outfits for different things,
Oh,
Oh,
well,
shoot.
including
Yeah.
a fashion show. So
there you
Be
go.
careful when you walk, because I have fallen doing one of those like for a fundraiser one time.
That's
I'm
why I
not
keep my high heels under 4 inches.
well,
Yeah.
thankfully I'm not walking for the
Oh.
fashion show. I'm attending it.
Oh, there you go.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I dig the vibes, not hot pink. Oh yeah, you could do Barbie. You could do Barbie colors, you guys.
Yeah.
Ooh, neon orange, nice. It could be like a large road cone walking around. That would be perfect.
If it's black light sensitive, I'm down. Like neon orange, that sounds cool to
Oh
me.
yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, black light.
Right?
Yeah. Nice.
Just
You
walk
guys
around with
are
a black
really
light on.
tall, and I'm really short. So yes, I'd be the little orange cone, and you guys could be. Yeah, it's getting late.
I'm
Isn't it?
I'm more bougie on a budget these days, so I don't know if I could afford the neon orange one.
You'd
You
be
never
surprised
know.
what you can find online. I'll tell you. But
Yeah.
That's true.
yeah,
I'll
Raven,
get
you
the
can all
Timu
dress.
version.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Oh, this has definitely been a fun evening for sure. You know.
It
I know. I
Absolutely.
love it.
has.
I love it. Oh, but strobe lights involved, it would be a total. Yes, it would.
Oh yeah.
Strobe lights.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well,
But guys, this has been fun, but I'll be real with you.
yeah.
I got like probably 2 hours or 3 hours stuff to do. And I
Yep.
no,
I got over an hour drive home before I can even
Oh.
think about going to bed. So.
I got
Please be
family
careful.
in the hospital, so I want to check on them.
Oh
Oh,
no.
nice. Sounds
I'm
great.
sorry.
Yeah. Hopefully, it's interesting because I'm the family member that I have is dealing with some similar things to what I went through when I was in the hospital. So, at least I'm able to be of support through this. But it's like I'm worried about them, of course. So yeah.
Well, thoughts and prayers. Hopefully it goes well.
Yes,
For sure.
everybody
Yeah.
send us that good energy, good healing energy. I'm gonna
Thank you
need
so
that soon because I don't do well when I'm having to not be able to go anywhere and do stuff. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be rough.
All
And
right.
Chris, I know you've been having a little. No, I won't say little. You've been having some issues too. So, always sending it to you. Always, all week. Been
Thank
worried
you.
about it, really. And please be careful. Please be careful.
Oh, I will. I do this all the time. Driving long distances for me is normal. So
Yeah,
what she said,
she said.
I missed it.
Wait, double click. Chris,
You
you
don't-
don't sleep. Don't lie.
Yeah. I asked her about when I was at Wilson Castle, and then I drove 6 hours on 1 hour sleep to Pennsylvania that
Oh,
morning.
wow.
Well,
I don't sleep
Couldn't
well
sleep.
at all.
I had to be in Pennsylvania. I was like, "Fuck it, might as well just go." I stopped at Dunk's and I went on my way.
there you go.
Yeah.
Did you
All
jam
right.
the music?
Thank
All right,
you.
everybody.
Yeah.
All
All right. Well, I'm gonna let you guys. I'm gonna pop out and I'm gonna take Jeremy down. Jeremy, thank you for coming on for these guys, and I love
Thank
it. I got to
you.
kind of chill out and listen to you guys. But anyway, you guys have a good night. I'm gonna pop my stuff out, and you guys.
All right. Well, that was so much fun.
That was super fun. That was awesome.
Yeah. So next week, Monday, 9:30 p.m. Thank you so much. Eastern time, we will have our next show. And our next show is, I believe, with Navi. I have to double check. So
That'll be a good one.
it'll be a lot of fun. With that being said, oh, Morgan said that she searched for your sleeping spot for hours.
Yeah, I kind of did the whole I just very quietly slipped out and didn't tell anybody, and I just went into my car, tried to sleep, didn't sleep. But yeah, sorry, Morgan. Next time I'll give you a heads up. To be fair, she pulled hard to get me an air mattress that night, and so I appreciate that very much. And I'm sorry that I just ducked out, but you know, I'm a weirdo. What can I say?
Well, we will talk to you all next week. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and for popping
Absolutely.
in. And we'll see you next week. Oh, she's like you, Houdini.
Totally did.
That's hilarious. All right, friends. We'll see you next week. Bye now.
Thanks.